Okay, welcome to this rather unusual stream for me. So what prompted this was I was live on the Universal Shabby Reviews stream on Friday along with Michael French. And I feel as if I really did let myself down there. Now, all the streams I've done recently, I have been drinking during them. And you will have noticed that I do excuse myself because I'm constantly having to go take a leak. But on Friday, I went one worse and I actually disappeared, ran to the store to buy more beer during a live stream, which I am so ashamed of. Now, when I started that stream, I had four 25-ounce cans of beer, which I thought would be perfectly adequate for the 2 hour stream. And of course, I plowed through that. And then, as I said, ran out to the store in the middle of a live stream to buy more beer. And that really is a pretty low point. So going forward, I'm going to try and do live streams again and do them nice and sober so I don't let myself down. Now, I'm not saying I'll never do another drunk stream because I know it can be funny and entertaining, but it's not something I want to go making a habit of. Furthermore, on the Saturday when I woke up, I had a stinking hangover. And I don't know how many of you people out there also suffer with mental health issues, but alcohol is the worst thing you can do. Yes, at the moment when you're drinking, you feel like king of the world. I certainly do. But once you come down, the depression gets like 10 times worse. And I was feeling pretty low past couple of days. Feel good again today. And so today's stream will be fueled by Diet Pepsi and Diet Pepsi only. So hopefully there'll be no bathroom breaks. Another thing I'm really ashamed of was during the Iconicon, I actually I think it was during Melinda's heavy metal stream. I had to excuse myself midway through, and when I was on with Tony from Analog Toys, he had me as a guest. I actually disappeared halfway through his stream as well, so really embarrassed by that. And thankfully, I didn't get myself in any trouble with YouTube because I know the one I did a few weeks back discussing the guy that deals in junk. I had a lot of bad words come out my mouth that time, and thankfully YouTube never picked up on that. But anyway, so we're here, and hopefully I can get through this. I actually feel okay. I was quite nervous before coming on. And that's partly why I do get boozed up, because I get so nervous before going live. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just get anxiety just takes over. And unfortunately, booze is one of the best cures for anxiety, but I have a problem keeping it under control. And as I said, to most people, I'm sure 4 25-ounce cans of beer, which is what? That's like eight normal cans of beer would have been sufficient. But I plowed through that in about an hour, and I ran out during a live stream to buy another 6, which I also plowed through, which is just ridiculous. We have actually a ton of comments, which is quite heartening because I always get nervous that no one's going to be here and I'm going to be left kind of waffling away to myself. I'll try and get through mostly just hellos. So if I don't bring you up on the screen, I'm very thankful you're here. And of course, hello to you. Excuse me. I'm just looking if there's any good sort of questions or anything. Wow, I'm seeing all the usual names. That's so nice to see everyone here. And I see that Jodie's here. And now I feel like I'm hitting the big time here because I'm going to do a live stream, and at the end of it, I'm going to do some unboxings. So I'm very much getting to being in the same sort of live stream league as like Retro Blasting and Analog Toys, where they always have unboxings. Sadly, these are things that I've bought. Now, Jodie, I'm checking the tracking on the item you've sent, and it should have been delivered today, but the damn post office screwed it up, and it looks like it'll be coming tomorrow, which is fine because it means I can do a dedicated video for your box. And just checking here. So Grindhead Jim has got a big comment here. So he says, all things 80s. I actually left a podcast to get more beer once myself. To make things worse, it was not live. I didn't edit it out. We make weird decisions under the influence. No judgment, mate. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I still cannot believe that I abandoned someone else's live stream to go buy a 6-pack of beer. That is pretty low. Let's see. Keith Knight here. Self-medicating, Dean. I've done it many times, mate. Still do. You will get through it, though. You have good people around you. Very true. Thank you, Keith. I see up top. Here we go. Oh, once again, Jody, thank you so much. Just to show some support, well, that's very much appreciated, and you are one incredibly generous guy. Like I said seconds ago, the box you've sent me should have been here today for this live stream, but the post office, as always, screwed it up. But it should be coming tomorrow, and in a way it's good because it means I can do a dedicated video for that. And I saw something about Batman. Dean, have you seen the video reviews of the Batman 66 Batcave? Sadly, I'm not very impressed. No, I've not seen any reviews. I'm holding back from watching them because I believe there is one coming in my direction. George Aitken's got a good comment here. Some people don't think you're a real Scot unless you like Bucky wine. I can put my hand on my heart and say I have never tried Buckfast. I've seen the empty bottles lying around everywhere, but I myself have never tried it. I have no idea what it tastes like. I just get the impression it's going to be very medicinal, but no, it's not something I've ever consumed myself, and I don't think I ever will. So, here's Star Wars, 80s and Star Wars guy. So he's turning 14 on Saturday. So that's wonderful that we have someone who is currently 13 years old, very much loves vintage Star Wars figures. I think that is fantastic. And that is the future of vintage Star Wars collecting because, so what do I have? Like, what, 33? I have 33 years on you. And so if I've got another, I don't know, if I'm lucky, 30, 40 years left. Once I'm gone and once most of us are gone, there will still be people flying the flag for vintage Star Wars, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And let's see. Oh, Jodie's giving the game away here. I don't want to bring that up so no one else sees it, but no. Oh, this was a nice comment from Toy Connections. Dean's hard rock song video intros are the best. Well, thank you. Not to pat myself on the back, but every time I listen to it, I'm like, holy crap. I'm amazed that sounds so good. Actually, if anyone is musically inclined, I believe I had to do that riff. I think there's 6 tracks in various stages of the pan. That's why it sounds so full. But yeah, I really should. Actually, I didn't just make that up on the spot because I did write a song a couple of years back with a very similar riff. Although I really haven't done much in the way of music at all recently. I have to get back into that and maybe finish those songs. That's an idea. So Michael Schaefer. Hi, Michael. He's saying those 2 Hot Toys are beautiful. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Stunning figures. Just everything about them is perfect. And like I said, on that video, the buyer's remorse immediately kicked in, but having had them in my possession for just over a week or so now, whilst they are back in their boxes until I find a suitable way to display them, they are stunning. I'm not going to say they're worth every penny, but just to have them as part of my Batman collection does make me very, very happy. O'Connor says Buckfast was a staple when he was 16. Yeah, so I guess it's one of these drinks. I guess it's quite cheap and quite powerful, which really is a 16-year-old's dream. I remember when I was that age, one of the strongest drinks was something, I think it was called K cider, black can with possibly a gold K. I think it's about like maybe 9% or 10% alcohol. It tasted horrendous, but it certainly got a 16-year-old pretty drunk on one can. And George has just confirmed what I thought. Buckfast is rocket fuel for Neds. Don't touch it either. Yeah. Oh, and Jim has come in with a very kind super. Thank you, Jim. Here's $5 towards a delivery fee from Instacart the next time you want beer or Diet Pepsi. Minimize off-screen time. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. So at least I'm not alone because Jim has confessed to doing it as well. So it's not just me, but yeah, that I'm not going to be dramatic and say, oh, that was me hitting a low point. I've got to get sober. That's not the case. It's just a point that made me very embarrassed and quite ashamed. So that's why we're doing this today as a test run, as a dry run, so to speak, to see if I am capable of doing it without being buzzed. I've got a question here from Bosk's Bounty. It says, evening, Dean. Looking well, buddy. What was the first Star Wars figure you remember buying for yourself with your pocket money? Well, that's a very good question because I don't actually know the answer. It's one of two figures. It was either Darth Vader or the Hoth Stormtrooper, which I got. I know where I got them. It was Phoenix department store in Newcastle, England. My dad's aunt and uncle lived in Newcastle, and we'd visit once a year. And when we were down there, we went to Phoenix, and it was one of those two figures. If I had to bet money, I'm going to say it was Darth Vader I got first, but I cannot confirm that 100%. And Gojitron has come in with a kind super chat. Thank you. If those hot toys bring you happiness, then the cost was worth it. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. And again, as I said in that video, that is not something I'll be doing every week. In fact, it's probably something I'll never do again. It was a one-off, and it was one of those sort of scenarios where if you don't act now, you really will regret it, and you'll have remorse over not having done it, as opposed to having buyer's remorse, which, as I said, quickly went away. So that was quite good. Grindhead Jim again says, exactly. You have to pick your battles. If I'm having a few on stream, I accept I might need to hit the bathroom or reach over to the fridge. It's a thing. Yeah, I actually even prepared. I had for last Christmas, or was it the Christmas before, the department store that has since closed down close to us were selling these Budweiser gift packs, which was like an ice bucket, couple of pint glasses, coasters, etc. So I had the ice bucket next to me with my 4 big cans in it, and they were just there just to grab, and I was pouring it off camera into a McDonald's cup, but oh boy. Michael Johnson has said, I go to that Phoenix all the time. And actually, when we were back in Scotland 2 years ago, we took a trip down to Newcastle, and I went back into Phoenix. I couldn't remember where the toy department was when I was a kid, and it was nice going back into it. Brought back some really good memories. Keith is saying, please don't beat yourself up over what happened, mate. You're on here owning it, and that is 50% of every battle won. You're a good man and a valued friend. You have nothing to apologize for. Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not trying to be dramatic and say, oh, that's me going to never drink again, because that simply is not true. It's just I'm going to try my best not to be an idiot on especially other people's live streams. That's the promise I'm trying to make here. But more than certain you will see me on a live stream of my own, knocking a few back and being a bit more loose. And Michael has made a nice, kind comment in there, just saying, be sure to like this video for Dean. Thank you, Michael. Okay, let's bring this one up. So, did you collect Action Man toys? Absolutely, I did. I have very fond memories of Action Man. Actually, my first Action Man that was given to me was a dark, flocked-haired, eagle eyes Action Man. I then got the Tom Stone Action Man, and then following on from that, my last Action Man was the blonde-haired, eagle-eyed, talking Commander, which was my favorite of the three. I also received a lot of hand-me-downs. I have two older half-brothers who are 8 and 9 years older than me. So I actually had a lot of the 60s painted hair Action Men figures as well. So, excuse me. What's this? Travels with Jason. Hey, Jason. Everyone go subscribe to Jason's channel. Star Wars and travel content, all good stuff. And he thinks his first Star Wars figure was a Stormtrooper. But who knows? That was 40 years ago. Yeah. For me, it was 1980. I think it was 80 or 81, actually. But like I said, Darth Vader or the Hoth Stormtrooper. But I do remember one thing about my first figures. They were all in Empire Strikes Back cards. So by the time I got into Star Wars, the Star Wars card backs were no longer being put out on the shelves. And Jim again. Yep, I have a cooler just for that purpose, whether for beer, soda, or whatever. Yeah, it's a. I don't know. I see a lot of live streams where the people just talk for hours and they never take a drink. I'm already getting thirsty. Actually, this is weird. And what are we? We are 17 minutes in, so I'd probably be a couple of pints in by now. So, and actually, the one I did where I was having a go at that junk character, by all accounts, I was letting all the sort of bodily functions go. People heard me taking a leak. I was burping. I was farting. And that's another thing. I really don't like watching back those live streams, so I haven't actually watched any back for the last few months. Just, I don't know, too ashamed. And here's Only One Kenobi. Evening, Dean. Been watching from the start. Alas, currently nailing my pasta bolognese meal while casting to TV, hence first comment. Thanks for providing my TV dinner entertainment. Oh, you're very welcome. This is the 80s and Star Wars guy. The biggest regret I made is passing on a Kenner Raiders of the Lost Ark tote at a Comic-Con. Okay. This is young kid talk, I guess. ROTLA. Roll on the, I don't know, something about laughing. I don't know. Anyway, it's a hard to get. Yeah, we all have passed on things over time that we come to regret. For me, one of the biggest ones was when the original Power of the Force figures went on clearance, and I distinctly remember seeing Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise for 49 pence at my local RS McCall's. I had no interest in Star Wars and thought, what a lot of crap. And I think I was into Action Force at that point, or Transformers, one of the two. Here's an interesting one from Zarnista Studios. We all have a couple of big purchases we have questioned if we should have gotten. The good news is with Hot Toys, you will get your money back on resale. Yeah, that's true, actually. That's the thing. I actually have 3 Hot Toys now. I have the Boba Fett done in vintage Kenner colors, which is a nice enough figure. But I think Hot Toys really come into their own when they do human faces. I'm not sure if I'll sell that Boba Fett because I'm not going to collect Star Wars Hot Toys. I would love to, don't get me wrong, but that's not something I'm in a position to start collecting. They're just far too expensive for that. And also as well, I was actually going to collect a pair of them that was the 40th anniversary Empire Darth Vader, and they showed him in pictures with a Luke Bespin, which I don't believe was ever released. So strange how these things come about. This is interesting. This is from the classic 80s fanboy. You're more eloquent and relaxed in talking than I am when I stream. I always get my words mixed up. Well, that's one of the fears I have, is that at least when I'm drinking, I can blame it on being drunk. But if I screw up today, I have no one to blame but myself. And that's partly what, causes me a bit of anxiety, I guess. So Bjorn has asked, have you heard of Skeletron? I've only heard of it because it was brought up on one of Tony Analog Toys' recent live streams. And from what I gather, is this company redoing certain Action Force toys? If that's the case, color me interested. This is from Monkey Boy Cloth Cat. Dean, we take you as you come. No judgment from this community, dude. Well, thank you. Yeah, I have to admit, it doesn't. Okay, it bothers me to a slight extent, but following on from the whole issue with that Pratt who peddles in junk, a lot more dislikes on my video, and one or two comments I've had to block. As I said in that last video about him, his followers are the lowest of the low. Even today I saw on, I guess it was Twitter possibly, where Lyle Convoy had to call out one of them for wanting to have a fist fight with Michael French. I mean, really, they're pathetic. And what really irked me about the whole thing with that guy, fine, we disagree on whether or not we like repro or whether or not we want to open vintage toys. That's fine. But when I was getting personal attacks from his minions, that was where I drew the line. What really insulted me was when there was one character accusing myself and Tony of using mail order brides, which is highly offensive. And then the same guy was then tagging me on Twitter with adverts for Thai prostitutes. And this all comes about because we have a disagreement with someone over how we collect toys. Nah, that is unacceptable. And as I said, his followers are the lowest of the low. And also, I'm going to put this out here. I'm pretty upset over the fact that I had to remove myself from a Twitter chat group that I really enjoyed being part of. It was very entertaining. It was hilarious. It was funny. But there were members of that group that have an affiliation with the Junkman, and I could not, in good faith, stay part of that group. And it sucks because every morning I'd wake up and there would be tons of just hilarious chat, plus a lot of good information about the latest toys and things. But my stance is, if you side with him, you will have nothing to do with me. That's just how it is. So this is the Lone Dragon. How you doing? I think FedEx may have lost some of my toys. Was supposed to be here Saturday. Tracking said it got most of the way here and stopped Friday evening. Don't be too disheartened. I have something here that suggested it was out for delivery on Monday, and then the tracking just stopped. And then yesterday there was no movement, but it arrived today, and that was FedEx. Scott says, Dean, don't change for anyone other than yourself. We're all here because we love you and your content. If we didn't like what we saw, we wouldn't be here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you may notice I'm actually struggling to read these. I will have to disappear for literally 5 seconds. I'll be right back. And no, I wasn't going for a 6-pack. I had to get these. I'm trying not to use them too much because I don't want to get dependent, but as I get older, it's getting harder to see, which is so bad. I used to have the most perfect eyesight. It's just been these last couple of years. Excuse me. So Jim says, mate, I've been streaming in one form or another for over 9 years. Everyone has a style, cadence, and quirks. You're coming into your own, as we all do. I learn something every single show. Yeah, that's very true. And what's Jody saying? You know what? Actually, I find that it's mostly in the morning and late at night I need these. I think I can get away. I'm going to try anyway because they're actually quite dirty as well. But Jody says, although I haven't drunk during any live streams, if I'm doing one, I take a few sips before to loosen up. During the stream themselves, I've got a big bottle of water next to me. That would be the ideal scenario. However, once I get the taste, that's it. Cannot stop. And I guess it's all in the genes. But once I get that taste, in fact, it's not even just the taste. It's once the first couple start to make you feel a bit warm and fuzzy. That's it. That's me throwing them back for the rest of the night, and that's not what I want to do. Only one says, "Drain the snake." Yep. So Keith is saying, but to be fair, hearing you piss, fart, and belch was infinitely more entertaining than watching Junkman. It probably made a lot more sense too. Kieran has said he purchased Han, Luke, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan, C-3PO, and R2-D2 when they first hit the stores in the UK back in the 70s, but then didn't buy more. I don't know why, but I didn't continue. Wow, interesting. Oh, I see. I hope I haven't missed this. This is from Boba Hicks. Thank you so much. Fantastic content. Keep it coming. Well, that's very kind of you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So what's this saying? This is from Bobby L. Collins. Junkman has more important things to worry about right now than whether other people open vintage toys. He flat out confessed to conspiracy to commit child identity theft, to commit fraud on tape. Well, that is very true. And actually, I got not a message, but a comment on another video yesterday from someone saying that he's now trying to create drama by attacking children's YouTube channels or something. The guy doesn't know when to stop. The boy's a loser. That's all I can say, really. Here's one. Frisky Flipper. Anyone received their 13 figures from the Fan Strike Back yet? No, not a chance. That whole thing has been extremely disappointing. And yes, there has been a global pandemic and shipping has been somewhat delayed. But how come that hasn't affected other independent toy makers whose product continues to flow and get delivered on time, you know? And Bobby is saying that's 3 felonies that this junk character has committed. Very true. Andrew is asking, has the buyer's guilt passed after Batman and Robin? Yes, it has. It passed the minute I opened them and saw them, to be honest. But there was just a lingering bit of doubt in my head. But having had over a week with them, I'm like, yeah, very happy indeed. And again, it's not something I'll be doing again anytime soon. So as a one-off, definitely worth it. I used to think it was all in the genes, but I still drink, even when wearing shorts. Very good. A lot of people drink in our toy collector group streams. We just chill and talk about toys, show off new stuff. Yeah, but do you disappear off camera to take a leak or run out to buy more beer? Oh, Anthony here. Thank you, Anthony. Very kind of you. Glad you're back on live streams. Get you some more mask stuff. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, excuse me. I'm thinking if I do get back into a regular stream, it will be probably Tuesday or Thursday. This should have been done tomorrow, but I've got a football game I've got to watch. And notice I said football and not soccer. I hate the word soccer. It is football over in Scotland, so that's why I'm doing this today. I think typically I will be either a Tuesday or a Thursday, maybe both some weeks. Who knows? And I'll definitely be looking for guests because I can't just sit and talk myself all this time. Oh, Tim's here. Hi, Tim. Glad you made it here. And let's see. This is jumping so fast. Hang on, and this is going back. So actually, we did have a guy a while back who would take his mic into the bathroom with him. Well, that's the thing. I didn't take the mic because the bathroom is just there and had all the doors open. So, yeah, that I guess it was humorous. And you know what? Maybe I'll look back on that live stream and find that part and watch it. But yeah, it's just a pity that I've not been watching back all the live streams I've been on because I'm just somewhat embarrassed. So I'm not seeing any good questions coming in. Right, so I will, I believe, be attending my first ever convention next month. Now, by all accounts, it's going to suck, but the New York Comic Con popped up on either Twitter or Facebook saying there were tickets available, which I believe is normally unheard of because these things sell out immediately. But you know, given the current state of things, and I thought, you know what, we'll give it a try. So I bought 2 tickets for the opening day, the Thursday, for myself and Mrs. 88, and the whole process in itself, buying them was easy, but then she had to make an account and we have to assign things over. That in itself wasn't necessarily straightforward. The way it was, the instructions didn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, got that dealt with. Actually, we didn't quite get it dealt with. I'll get to that in a second. So then I looked at what was happening on the Thursday, and the truth is not a whole lot, although there is one thing of great interest to me, and that is William Shatner. Because as a kid, 2 of my first loves were, oops, what happened there? We're back. The camera just turned itself off. Actually, that's happened a couple of times now. Let me just check if I'm back. I guess. Okay, can someone let me know? Are we back on? Do we have visuals and do we have sound? Seems like it, is it? Yeah. Am I back? Let me just check this. Oh, we can see you. Can you hear me? Okay, looks and sounds good. Yeah, this camera has been giving me problems. I did get it, 7 years ago, so maybe it's time to upgrade. Anyway, as I was saying, so William Shatner was the only thing of any real interest to me. As a kid, the Adam West Batman and Star Trek were two of my favorite shows. So I thought, okay, what can we engage William Shatner with? So he's doing a panel, and he's also doing photographs and autographs. Well, photographs are of no interest to me because, by all accounts, there'll be a perspex screen between you and the star. I'm not sure about masks, and I'm not paying $100 or whatever it costs to stand close to somebody. And besides, I'm not that big of a fanboy. I do, however, want to get a couple of things signed, and I'm slightly not annoyed, but I just think $100 per signature is taking the piss a bit. Given that he'll be doing what, two of these a minute, that's what, $200 a minute. That's a nice cash grab right there. But I do want to get his signature, and I got two things which I'm not going to go into yet, but one I think might be a giveaway at some point. Now, as for the panel, the Twitter feed of the New York Comic Con has been blowing up because people are furious, myself included. So the sign up to be able to attend the panels went live on Monday at it was 1 p.m. So I got everything set up. And I should add as well, even though I bought the 2 tickets for myself and my wife, in order to sign up for a panel, we had to sign up independently. So one person could not obtain 2 tickets. So I had to have 2 computers going simultaneously. There was a massive wait to get in. And in the end, the whole system crashed. Some people got tickets, some people didn't. And the whole thing was a complete disaster. So they said, okay, we're going to stop today and we'll try again tomorrow. So they were doing it at 10 a.m. yesterday. And again, I had the 2 computers set up. And because my wife hadn't accepted something on her fan verified account, when I entered her email, she wasn't getting the code to then go back in to obtain a ticket. So long story short, we had to hastily get everything sorted out. Unfortunately, I was able to get us the tickets to be sitting in the audience of the William Shatner panel. However, thousands of people are furious because, one, they spent hours on Monday staring at a computer screen for it to crash. Then yesterday, there were people logging on and being told you're in the line, but there's a 2-hour wait. And people are at work. They don't have 2 hours to stare at a screen. So thankfully, I'm happy that the one thing I want to see, I'm able to see. But having looked at the rest of the schedule, it does look pretty crap, to be honest. And I think a lot of the big toy companies aren't going to be there representing. But if anyone's been to New York Comic Con, can you let me know in this chat, do they have vendors who sell vintage toys? Because I'm not necessarily looking to buy anything modern, but if they have stands selling vintage, I'll definitely be looking to get into that. So that's my story. So I don't know what the picture and video rules are, but I'll do my best to get some videos made. I'm pretty certain you won't be allowed to film William Shatner signing your items through a glass screen with a mask on, but who knows? Excuse me. I'm way behind on this, actually. Good. Okay, we can see you. Visuals are back. Yeah, so this camera, well, at the time, it was state of the art. I got it for my 40th birthday. It's a Canon, oh God, I don't know what, I don't know. HG30 rings a bell, but I can't see anything offhand. Anyway, but it has been cutting out a few times lately, so I don't know what that is. Maybe need to look into that. So this is Godritron saying, the day I met Shatner, he was quite jovial. He was seated quite away from George Takei, though. Go figure. Yeah, actually, Takei is there the same day I'm going, but I don't really care for some of his outbursts on social media, so I'm not going to give him the benefit of any of my cash. Yeah, Lone Dragon says Shatner doesn't have enough money. I know, but can you imagine if you're getting $100 for 30 seconds worth of work? That's incredible. And George is saying that Anthony Daniels is an expert at conventions at making money. Now, is it true that he will not sign the C3PO erection tops card? I don't know why. I think that would, if I was him, I would find that hilarious, but there you go. And Gerard O'Connor asked me, which footy outfit do you support, Dean? Sorry for being off topic. I know that Tony is a gunner. Oh, I'm Hibernian. Hibernian from Edinburgh. That is my team. I saw something about William Shatner and I've just missed it. William Shatner was awesome in Halloween. And Scuba's saying, easier to travel out of the country than that BS. Yeah, also, what has happened is people have bought tickets and then the Comic Con has announced you must be double vaxxed. So there are a lot of unvaccinated people with tickets they can no longer use. And because there's no great demand for this convention, they can't sell their tickets, so they really are screwed. If you were a wrestler, what would your finishing move name be? I don't know. The cum shot? I have no idea. Anthony is saying, if you come to the Fanboy Expo in Knoxville on Halloween this year, tons of vendors selling vintage toys, and Shatner and Sulu will be there signing. I will be there. You're welcome to come with me. Oh, thank you, Anthony. So interesting that Shatner and Takei are so big on this convention thing. I mean, what? Shatner is what? He must be close to 80 or there or thereabouts. What does he need to? What does he need the money for? That's bizarre. Speaking of the whole VIP thing, I got notification that there was a concert coming up next year that is of great interest to me. Yes, I'm very old school in my musical tastes, but there are two modern bands that I really do like, and that is Volbeat and Ghost, and they're doing a co-headlining tour in January, February, I believe. I'm not going to buy tickets because if all goes to plan, hopefully we can go visit Thailand at that time. But they were offering VIP tickets. And in the past, I have done a couple of VIP things. I've shown my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing and talked about when my wife and I, we got engaged and Gene was the witness from Kiss. All the fun we had with Kiss that day. It was just a fantastic day. But the VIP things these days are all being done with COVID in mind. And the Volbeat one states there is no interaction with the band. You will be handed a signed poster. You can't bring your own item to get signed. And the photograph with the band will have them standing on the stage behind you, and you will stand on the floor in front of them. Very weird. And I did see on the current Kiss tour, the VIP thing is done with the whole band standing behind the big Perspex screen and you stand in front of it. I would feel extremely ripped off doing that kind of VIP thing. This looks interesting. So I watched Shatner react to people impersonating him the other day. It was funny. Okay, so I guess he must have a good sense of humor. Although I did watch on YouTube for the millionth time, but hadn't watched it in years, Shatner doing Rocket Man. That is just one of the greatest things ever seen on television. This is interesting. I've been to many cons, but never New York Comic Con. Sure, it will be a blast. Can't wait to see your videos. Yeah, I hope it's going to be good. Like I said, on the Thursday, the only thing of any real interest is William Shatner. I think Christian Haydenson is appearing at the weekend, but the Saturday was completely sold out, and the Sunday, I don't know. I just figured the Sunday things are kind of dying down. I wanted to catch it when it was just opening, so who knows? So what's this? If money was no object, Dean, which Star Wars mint on card would you free from its blister and obviously enjoy the aroma? Already done it, the TIE Fighter pilot, and it smelled okay. It wasn't as I remembered it, but the one that did exceed my expectations was the Mail Away Emperor, because it was sealed in the bag. So when I opened that bag, boom, it just smelled like 1980s again. And I see we have from Tree Theodore, thank you so much. Thanks for your fine channel. Well, that's very kind of you. Now, as I posted on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, Tree Theodore recently restored this beautiful 1976 Rolls Royce, and this automotive channel have been making videos on it. So I've done a link to that. So please check my community tab on YouTube and go watch that video. It's a stunning roller. Beautiful looking car. Amazing job on the restoration as well. And also, Tree's been sending me some pictures of something he's working on in the background relating to Star Wars, and that looks fantastic as well. Here's an interesting one. I'm just glad we had a con in Portland. Carl Weathers was cool and didn't have a line, so we chatted for a couple of minutes with my boys. Takai was too busy, but chatted with people quickly. Yeah, I'm sure these stars just see everyone as little dollar signs, and you can't blame them, because I'm sure everyone wants to spend hours talking to these stars and they simply can't do that. But I've seen some stars be pretty snotty. When I was living in Scotland, I was really big into Star Trek. And one second. And the Forbidden Planet would frequently get Star Trek actors in for signing sessions. And looking back, I think it was like £10 for an 8x10 photograph to get signed. Most of them were really nice. The one that was a real dick was John Delancey. He was miserable, a real jackass, actually. The nicest one was probably Nichelle Nichols. I need to dig out my photographs. I do have photographs with most of them. Yeah, that was fun. Oh, another dick was Chekhov. What the hell's his name? Walter Koenig? Yeah, he wasn't too nice either. Wow, George is getting his third shot. Wow. So he's at NHS. Okay. Hang on, Michael Schaefer says, Shatner is 90. Good Lord. Wow. Incredible. So Bjorn made $100 in 30 seconds once. Okay, so what were you doing? Yeah, we all want to know. Let's see. Messiah 6 would love to see Ghost. Yeah. I actually heard the music before I saw the appearance. So it was the music that kind of got my interest, and then the whole Gould and the Papa thing was quite
interesting, shall we say. I saw them first because they were opening for Iron Maiden a few years ago, and I didn't know really much about them. I thought that's a hell of a show, and then saw them again. Uh, when was that? Good Lord, that was December of 2018. Gee, that's almost 3 years ago. Oh, that can't be right. Yeah, time is going by way too fast. So Jodie's got to go. All right. Well, again, thank you, Jodie. And like I said, I'll be able to do a dedicated video for your package. And Gojitron is saying, I think photo ops at conventions are being done with a plexiglass screen between you and the guest. Yep, that's my understanding. And I don't know what the mask situation is because they are saying in the convention rules masks must be worn by guests and stars and staff. So who wants a photograph with a mask on? That's terrible. So Picard is 81. Wow. Gee, that's incredible. And Andrew's saying Shatner's whole album is amazing. Yeah, it was just, it's the way he can keep a straight face doing that. I don't know how anyone can do that and not burst out laughing. What's this? Shatner seemed like a pretty cool dude that's too old to care about the bullcrap anymore. Yeah, I guess. It's funny because when you watch other live streams and people say, "Oh my God, the chat's just jumped," yeah, that really is a thing. It's quite hard to keep up with things here. Oh, and Scuba Pete has just linked in the Rocket Man video. It's just amazing. And of course, back in an age where you could smoke on television. And a nice comment from Jim. Judy calls, "Love you, Dean. Thank you. You're doing amazing." Oh, thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate that. So Jason, love Comic Cons. Hope to go to one in October. Yeah, that's me. I think it's October 7, I believe. And what's this? They have to watch the Shatner deep fried turkey song on YouTube. Will do. Okay, I understand this. So Sunday, the last day of the con, is the best time to get good deals. Vendors will drop prices to sell everything off rather than pack it up and take it home. Yeah, I guess that makes complete sense. Ah, interesting. Here, so I've heard bad stories about people meeting John Delancey. So it wasn't just me. I heard Robert Picardo was nice. Now I'm trying to think from Voyager, who did I meet? Was it Robert Duncan McNeil? The boy that played Neelix, whose name escapes me. Tim Ross, who was Tuvok. I think that was it. Quite remarkable that all these stars came to Scotland to do this. But then again, we're talking, what, 20 odd years ago, and for £10 a pop. Not too bad. And Jason is saying it was cheap back in the late 90s. I got lots of my Star Wars autographs from about £10 each. Wow. Yeah. I mean, how can you, with a straight face, charge someone $100 for an autograph? That is just incredible. And Michaels is confirming what I thought. It's the best use of a cigarette as a prop in a music video. It certainly is. Also, Scott Hughes met Megadeth. Yeah, I met them a few times actually. So Nick Menza was drunk, may he rest in peace, but he was even friendlier. David Elfson was casual but not too overly friendly. Marty Friedman was the least friendly but not rude. So yeah, I find it hard to look at David Elfson in the same light, having sadly seen that video on I guess it was Twitter. Yeah. Oh, God damn it! Once you see it, you can't not see it. So whenever I look at old Megadeth videos of him playing bass, it's not the bass I see him playing with. Yeah, and Jeff has made a good point. No Jerry Ryan. That was always my intention because at the Forbidden Planet, in fact, this was in Glasgow's Forbidden Planet, it was a double header. It was Robert Duncan McNeil and the Neelix actor whose name is going to bug me for the rest of this stream. But anyway, when choosing the photograph I wanted of him, I took one of Neelix with 7 of 9 with the intention being that one day I would get her to sign it as well, but sadly that never happened. So Cochitron has met about 100 celebrities, artists, voice actors at conventions, and only a small handful were unpleasant. Yeah, I mean, it's like how dare you be unpleasant when we are giving you a lot of money for 30 seconds of your time? I don't get that. This is one about David Prowse. I helped my friend with Comic Cons and spent a lot of time with Prowse. He made a lot of cash at every convention. It's crazy. Rest in peace, Dave. So this is Megadeth talk, which I like. As big of a dick as his reputation portrays, Dave Mustaine was genuinely friendly and talked as long as I wanted all 3 times I talked to him. Yep, absolutely. Me too. He was actually, because I met him a few times whilst in America, and he picked up on the accent, and he began telling how much he loved Scotland and that there are only 2 places in the world he would choose to live out with America, and that was Scotland and Portugal. I don't know what's so good about Portugal, but yeah, that was quite interesting, I thought. So Michael Johnson says the only famous person he's met is Michael Palin. He couldn't have been nicer. Yeah, for the most part, every celebrity in musical circles. Actually, you know who's not that nice is Scott Ian of Anthrax. Bit of a jerk. Not a jerk, not a full-on jerk, but semi-jerk. The rest of Anthrax, extremely nice. And in fact, so the first Mrs. 88, who was American, she was over in Scotland, and we met Anthrax after a show in the Glasgow Barrowlands. And they, of course, heard her accent, and we all got talking, blah, 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 blah. Then, maybe a year later, I met Anthrax again, and Frankie Bello asked how my girlfriend was. So he remembered, which was quite remarkable. And yeah, I actually, I have I was going to say an embarrassing story, but one that was really cool was that Rob Caggiano, formerly of Anthrax, now of Volbeat, because he was living from New York, we got quite friendly and hung out a number of times. But one time was really bad in terms of me being so drunk that I did actually wet the bed that night. And that's something that I've never done as an adult, and I couldn't believe I did that. But yeah, that was drinking Scotch whiskey because they were all about the American bourbons and things. I said, no, you got to drink some Scotch. And I think I was suggesting, was it Glenlivet or something, and throwing back shots of Glenlivet, and oh, what a night. Anyway, this is something I touched on. So Kickback85 says, never met him, but from what I've heard, Anthony Daniels is an obnoxious asshole. That's the impression I get as well. Yeah. Would love to golf in Scotland. Yeah, that's certainly one of the things that Scotland does well, with like such a variety of styles of courses. Des T, he met Stan Boardman at a Liverpool match. Nice guy. Funny you should say that. I was just surfing YouTube looking for old comedy clips, and the clip of him on the name of the host, is it Des O'Connor, where Stan told the German plane joke, if that rings any bells. Absolute classic. Dave Mustaine was really sound when Megadeth were playing Dublin years ago, out chatting with people in the smoking area, just mingling. Yeah, it's true. He has a bad reputation, but he's seems, in my experience, a very nice guy. Excuse me. And this just confirmed it. Oh, hey, Shabby. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, Anthony Daniels is a bell end, unfortunately. And Michael Johnson got my reference about the German planes, the Fokkers. So after this, write this down if you have a pen handy. Is it Stan? I've forgotten his goddamn name now. Stan Boardman, Fokkers joke. Classic bit of British television. And I believe that got him banned from live TV, but, such as things. And Woke Lord actually gets it. So he says, the Fokker joke is hilarious. Boardman on Des O'Connor. Yep, absolutely. This one says, never a good thing to meet your idols. Ultimately, always disappointing. Yeah. I think I've been fortunate, to be honest. Great gag, yeah, it certainly was. Now, I actually shared this on Melinda's Retro Blasting live stream on 80s Metal, where Lemmy of Motorhead, he just gives the impression that he's going to stink of Marlboros and stale Jack Daniels. But in actual fact, he wore the most, I don't want to come across a bit, this is the thing about PC culture. I don't want to come across as batting for the other team, but he smelt really nice. Quite a shock to the system, shall we say. So we're an hour's in. I have some unboxings, believe it or not. Now, I've always said, and this is no lie, of all the 80s or toy channels on YouTube, I really don't get a lot of pickups. And I especially won't be going forward for a while, given the whole Batman and Robin thing. But for whatever reason, I had 3 things arrive. One arrived yesterday, which I kept behind to do this today, but 2 actually came today. Excuse me. As I said, I should have had one from Jody, but that's by the by. So these have been appearing, which is interesting given that they were only announced last Monday. But it's the variant Triclops. Now, with the sort of Mattel Creations special sale they had, my success rate was rather mixed. Unsuccessful in the Horde 4-pack and the Faker Copycat. Did manage to get the Triclops and a Sunman. So, interesting that they're able to do it in this beautiful box. All for only $17, because I believe the latest waves are now selling for something like $18, $19 each. So, as things stand, I think I've gone from not wanting to collect them to being all in. And to the best of my knowledge, I've covered all the standard release bases. And I have, is it Wave 7 that's coming? I think it's appeared in Singapore already. So those are pre-ordered. And so I guess Wave 6, I believe some of them are on their way. So anyway, I want to take a look at this one and see what it's all about. I should add, this is a very sturdy box. It's very well done. So that's pretty cool. And of course, it comes with the glow ring, which is probably too small for my fingers. So I do have the regular Triclops to compare it to. And actually, these are suitably different, that it isn't just a difference of colors. What's a little bit disappointing about Wave 7 is the Stratos variant appears to be just different colors, whereas here, I don't know how well it's coming across, there are actually differences in the sculpt of the body and the boots. Yeah, the armor is quite different actually. So yeah, it's actually a justifiable variant. Some of these variants they've given us thus far are a bit of a joke, especially the two evil limbs. I mean, and what else? At least with the Merman and the Beastman, they are somewhat different. But anyway, so this is Triclops, and it's, like I said, only announced last Monday. So the fact they got it out so fast is a credit to Mattel Creations. For those wondering why my Triclops is still on card, I'm not keeping them on card. It just so happens that I have no space to display these Masters of the Universe figures at this time. And it's just a safer way of keeping them so things don't get lost. Trust me, they will all be getting opened and they will be displayed. Just for the time being, I'm just keeping them on their cards. Yeah, I got to say, I am really, really pleased with this. And the back actually is pretty cool as well. If you look, obviously doesn't have the other figures in the line because it's not actually part of any wave. It does say fan vote winner up top. Yeah, very nicely done actually. So the other one I said, was Sunman, which I don't believe is arriving until January or something. So that was that. Now, from clearly Entertainment Earth, I'm not sure what this is. The trouble with Entertainment Earth is their pre-orders just pop up out of nowhere without any warning. And I'm not on every day updating to see what's coming. So this could be, actually feels really, really light. So, okay. We have an invoice, so that's good. Damn, okay, I do need these for this. Okay, I see what it is. We've got some nice foil stickers. It's pretty cool. And a catalogue, finally. I've not had one of these for years. So I'll enjoy looking at that later. What the hell? We've got a Lego R2-D2 that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'll enjoy this. Oh my god, tons of course, Mandalorian stuff, as you would expect. Yeah, that'll be later. So, just the one figure, but I've got to say, all this for one Motu figure. So this arrived absolutely perfect. Webster. So yes, Stinkor, the Eternian Goddess, and the Beastman are on their way at some point. And I think I also have that special edition Guard. Do I? Yeah, I think I do. That's on its way, I think October or something. And then, of course, the Wave 7, which I think I got ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. Anyway, so if anyone watching this and has this, does he actually climb up the string? In fact, I'm going to try and have to catch up with this chat for just a second to see if there's anything I've really missed. I saw something interesting here. Yeah, so this is a great point. I wish Star Wars product was on the shelves like Motu is. Very frustrating. Long live Stan Solo Creations. Absolutely. And this is the thing about these. The reason I've gone all in on these is the fact that as a kid, I loved the cartoon, but I never had any figures because my mom and dad had told me, by all means, you can collect these figures, but that means you can't collect Star Wars figures. And because I was so into Star Wars, I just stuck with Star Wars. So to have the chance now, like what, 35, 36 years after the fact, to get what are more or less the same in this very similar packaging is just fantastic. And Hasbro has that opportunity with the retro collection to do something similar and just re-release the entire line, and I would be all over those. But sadly, they piss around and then they skip a line of figures and give us retro collection figures from a show that came out in the year 2019. It makes no damn sense. But if they were to go all in and give us a ton of retro figures and vehicles based on the Kenner line, count me in on that. Now, we have one more. Just checking here. Jonathan says, my regular shop uses shipper boxes like that and packing peanuts and figures heavily wrapped in bubble wrap. Pain to unwrap, but everything arrives mint. Exactly. That's what it's all about. I posted on Twitter the other day that, yes, the He-Man and Skeletor that are currently on Amazon are indeed the vintage head versions. However, be warned, Skeletor, the bubbles are loose. And I thought, how can that be? But Michael French told me on Friday, I think it was, his Skeletor arrived with the bubble loose. And lo and behold, mine arrived on Monday and the bubble was off and the mini comic was missing. But I don't really care because, like I said, I will be opening them all and displaying them loose. But yes, you will get the vintage head versions for actually less than retail price. When you compare it to eBay, the vintage head versions are selling for like 20, 30 bucks. But on Amazon, they're under 15. So if you're interested, go check them out. In fact, go check them out on my Twitter link. That's your best bet. Okay, one more box. And again, another huge, big package here. And I know what this is actually. This is something else that I had mentioned on Twitter, which I'm not going to say it's controversial because it really isn't. But this is something that I'm actually amazed has been made. All will be revealed in just a moment. So again, tons of packing material. Wow. So, let me see this. Now, I am a huge, huge fan of Lego. When did I start? Well, obviously, I started when I was a kid, but back in, I'm going to say it was 2011 or 12, I got really into the Star Wars Lego and was buying as many of the sets that related to the first three movies. I had no desire to get any prequel sets and going forward any sequel sets, but I had a ton of sets based on the original trilogy. But it got to the point where they were releasing far too many. I just couldn't keep up. And they were really bad for gathering dust. So cleaned them up, sold them all, and bought a guitar with that money. But anyway, when Lego began doing Christmas sets, I thought, wow, that's perfect for me because I love Christmas. I go crazy decorating this place. And I have a number of I think they called them holiday sets. And for the most part, they started out very much Christmas sets because they had Santa Claus and everything. Then things got a bit, I'm not going to say PC, but there was less emphasis on Christmas and more on the sort of winter season. I think they called them holiday sets. Well, for this year, they've only gone and done what is quite surprising, and they've got a set called Santa's Visit. And not only do they have Santa Claus, they also have the family is a rich, privileged Caucasian family. And I am utterly amazed that Lego have the balls to put this out because I know there's going to be a lot of complaints about this because it's not inclusive enough. The fact is, for generations, Christmas has been about Santa Claus looking like this. We've got Christmas trees, we've got presents. I am very, very happy to have this. And like I said, amazed that Lego would actually have the balls to put something like this out. Now, sadly, I'm going to wait to build this. Typically, we put our decorations up on Thanksgiving. So the end of November, I'm going to do a video assembling this, and then I put it next to my other Christmas sets. Beautiful looking set, actually, and this thing is heavy. This contains 1,445 pieces, and it includes batteries. I think this Christmas tree lights up, and from what I understand, there's a chute within the chimney, and you can drop Santa all the way down the fireplace. And this is saying it's 11.5 inches wide and 7.5 inches tall. So it's not exactly tiny. But yeah, this might be my favorite of my Christmas sets. So look out for a video closer to Christmas on that. Let me see if I've upset anyone. I hope not, but you never know. Jeff says that's a cracking set, yeah. And Daniel says some people just want to complain about anything, and that sadly is very true. It's not even a joke at this stage. Okay. Monkey Boy, is that a picture of Dimebag? Yeah, this one is signed, a signed poster. You can't see it here. The one up, that's also a signed picture, and that's a photograph of me and him. Hang on, this is, yeah, he's joking here. A Lego Nazi Petit set. What's this? Why would people want to do that? Discovering this collecting community has been the best thing over the last 18 months or so. Not sure what that's in reference to. And this is more like it. Sick of these snowflakes getting offended for the sake of getting offended. Yeah. Like I said, generation after generation has not worshipped, has celebrated Christmas with Santa Claus giving gifts and people singing Christian rhymes. They sound like Cliff Richard. What was that? Mistletoe and wine. And you see, as someone who thinks about the 80s way more than he should, I am very set in my ways and I don't like change. I like things as they were. And to me, that set takes me right back. And that is a good thing, in my opinion. Dave. Hi, Dave. Love those Christmas Lego sets. Last year, I enjoyed building the Elf Clubhouse. Yeah, this is my first one in a number of years. I have Santa's Workshop, and I believe the other one is the toy shop, possibly. And of course, those came with a ton of free Christmas sets as well, which is always nice. So, Jonathan asked, can they build that on a live stream? Actually, no. I'll do a video and it'll need to be like probably time lapse for the building portion, because this is going to take me hours to build, I suspect. I might even do it over a few days. I like to sort of savor it. I don't want to rush it. And I think if I did it on a live stream, that would just be rushed. So it has Lego Santa and his sleigh. Yeah, I have the small one that came with Santa's workshop, which is really nice. Oh, Luke is here. Hey, Luke. It's a flying visit. Wanted to say, love what you're doing, and right behind Sober Stream Show. Well, thank you, Luke. Very much appreciated. And Jonathan is saying, Dean, snowflakes are the brats Santa used to bring coal to. No wonder they dislike it. Yeah, they certainly are. So I guess Dave must have built his on, was it a stream or a video? I think I'm going to have to do it as part of a video. I think it would be far too boring to be a live stream for this set. Plus, I want to sort of, although I have a camera present, I want to really just enjoy the experience myself. I don't want to be having to worry about making sure I'm keeping the stream entertaining, I should say. Jeff, you will make it his Christmas mission to pick up a Lego Christmas. Yeah, definitely. They're fantastic. And Bjorn, what's your favorite instrument? Like, what, do you mean like to play or? That's my trouble. I could never commit to one thing, so I'm not very good at any one thing. I wouldn't even say I can get by, but I dabble with guitar, bass, keyboard, and drums, none of which I'm any good at, but that's probably my fault for not being able to commit to one thing, which is unfortunate. Andrew's asking, if we're talking about Christmas already, please do a Man Argos Krappist Christmas list of toys, the Krappist list of toys. You see, I'm thinking already about the Christmas specials, and I went so all in last year that I think I blew all my material. I'm really struggling to think what to do this year. So I'll come up with something. I have an idea for some live streams that will involve guests. But I did all the best stuff. I did the top 10 charts for each year of the 80s. I did the covers of the comics and magazines. I did the TV BBC listings for Christmas Day. I think I blew it. I blew it all last year. And they weren't that well viewed, unless I re-release them possibly, because they're always going to be relevant because it's looking back in time. Maybe I'll re-release each one with some updated commentary or something. But I need to come up with some more ideas. Just like I think I blew my, I was going to say blew my load. That's not what I meant to say. I blew my Halloween repertoire last year as well. I don't know what else to talk about from the 80s Halloweens. Although I have one idea I might go with. Who knows? George, still have a few Lego sets. Picked up a Force Awakens Falcon for £10. Only thing wrong was the dented box. Wow, that's a good deal. Oh my God, keep jumping here. What's this? Things aren't the same if miss the Rankin Bass or Rankin Bass stop motion Rudolph show in December. Off topic on that, I actually watched for the first time since I saw it as a kid. Last year, I watched The Snowman. Is it Raymond Briggs? And I realized why I hadn't watched it for so long, because thankfully it was on my own. But yeah, I was sobbing watching that. Quite embarrassing. Credo and a Speedo. Hey, bud, hope you're well. Love the Megadeth picture. Well, thank you. Oh, and Matt is here. Great to see you streaming again on your own. We had a great show last Friday. Thanks for being our guest. Well, thank you for having me. I'm assuming you didn't see the start of this, where I explained why I'm now doing this without the assistance of Ale, because I feel like I let myself down by being way too drunk and running out midstream to go buy more beer, which was extremely unprofessional. So yeah, I'm trying my best to plow on through without being drunk. If they brought out that Elf Clubhouse now, they'd have to call it the Vertically Challenged Clubhouse, just to pander to the snowflakes. Yeah, very true. Oh, Scuba just bought it. Nice one. Yeah, $100. But I tell you what, though, this thing is going to be quite big, and the contents are extremely heavy. You know what I do miss about Lego is back in the day, if you remember getting Lego as a kid, it would have the flap you could lift up and you would see all the little trays of Lego inside. That was always nice to be able to look at. So Kieran has to go. But I just want to say this was a great live stream, Dean, and judging by how well the show has gone, you definitely don't need any liquid courage. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Now that I'm in my stride, I feel fine. It's just, you see, a problem I have is that I project disaster in pretty much everything I do in life. I imagine what could go wrong, and then I get so worked up by that, I end up not taking any chances. And in some cases, I deprive myself of a lot of pleasure because I'm so afraid of something going wrong that I end up pretty much staying home alone. I got to get over that. Here's a question which I like. What are the top 5 British TV shows of the 80s in your opinion? Oh boy. The answer I give now will not be the answer I give tomorrow, if that makes sense. I mean, see, here's the problem about British TV shows. A lot of the shows that I and most of us from this age group enjoyed were from America. So all the good stuff, A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, etc. British, well, Grange Hill has to be one. Here's the thing about 80s TV. When watching it as a kid, a lot of the humor would go over my head. But watching it now, it's just genius, like the Two Ronnies, Are You Being Served? Those shows, I enjoyed them as a kid, but I didn't fully enjoy them because I didn't understand the comedy. So those are 2 that I would definitely include. Ooh, Cracker Jack was another good kids show. That's Stu Francis. Was he Stu Pot? But here's the thing about Cracker Jack. I've been watching a few episodes from the 80s, and I'm not seeing kids being forced to hold cabbages, which is something I seem to remember from Cracker Jack. It was whoever could hold the most cabbages won the prize. It was a bizarre concept. Oh, and Biker Scout is here. Nice to see you. Oh, Shabby Geek is here. I didn't see you earlier. Sorry about that. Jeff says, it ain't half hot, Mum. That was a good one. Actually, here's a recommendation, and it's on YouTube as every episode is there because I've just finished the entire thing. It was from the 70s, but it's a show that would never be allowed to be broadcast today, but it was called Love Thy Neighbor. Absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, I saw one here. Oh, of course. Blake Seven, Doctor Who, Super Gran, all good British shows. In fact, we actually covered this on the Iconicon stream. I should remember it, but again, anyway, Rent a Ghost. Yep. Hello. Classics. Stu Francis was in the Crankies. Can't think of his other half. No. The Crankies were a husband and wife team. Stu Francis had dark hair. And I think he wore... Did he wear a tracksuit on Cracker Jack? Possibly. Oh, Matt's got a question which is so easy to answer. Choose Pantera or Faith No More. Pantera. I do love Faith No More, but Pantera. My musical life was changed in October of 1992 when it was Megadeth on tour for the Countdown to Extinction album. The opening band was someone I'd never heard of called Pantera, and my friend and I were downstairs in the Glasgow Barrowlands at the bathroom, and there was you could hear the show had started upstairs, and people were freaking out. Oh my God, Pantera's on! And we were like, yeah, who the hell's Pantera? Finished taking a leak, went upstairs, and that was the first and only time I've had my mind blown by new music. I was immediately sold, and they became one of my all-time favorite bands. Kick-Ass has a good point here. Fawlty Towers from the 70s, but it was rerun in the 80s. Very true. As with me, like, you will see me talk a lot, especially going forward, about 1966 Batman. Yes, it's from the 60s, but it was rerun in the 80s, and I saw it in the 80s. Here's another one. Yep. Mind Your Language. They'll never show that again. Yep. I've watched a few episodes of that on YouTube. I'm going to get to that soon. I'm currently watching one that popped up as recommended called Odd Man Out with John Inman of Are You Being Served fame, and he's playing more or less the exact same character. Extremely camp, but it's pretty funny. Apparently, Only Fools and Horses is huge in Serbia. Was watching the wonderful John Chalice, rest in peace, on Serbian Chat show on YouTube. Yeah, that was pretty sad news. Of Wiedersehen Pet. Was that the one based in Newcastle, possibly? I think it might have been. So he did Cracker Jack too. Yeah, the Crankies were regular guests on Cracker Jack. But to my memory, there were two hosts of Cracker Jack. There was Stu Francis, but there was someone else prior to him, I think. I don't know. Yep, there we go. Stu Francis. Ooh, I could crush a grape. That was definitely Cracker Jack. Now, I'm seeing, so Jimmy Cranky. Now, Smith Lord, who I've not seen pop up here, has a story about his uncle. And I think was her name Jeanette Cranky? The small one. It's a funny story, but that's not for me to share. Stu Francis was on Cracker Jack, and the Crankies were also, yeah, they were quite regular guests. Thinking about doing a video soon of the most annoying kids entertainers, because there were a number of them that I really did not enjoy as a kid. And I'm sad to say that the Crankies were one of those acts that, for whatever reason, even as a kid, it did not appeal to me. Another one was the Great Soprendo. Let's see if anyone can remember his catchphrase. I'm not sure if I'll be allowed to say it, but if someone can comment, what was the Great Soprendo's catchphrase? Oh, Gerard's got a nice comment here. Thanks 1,000 for a great stream, kind sir. Well, thank you for watching. There we go. Ian and Jeanette. Ah, yes, you're getting close to the story that I was alluding to. Yep, they were big time swingers, and apparently very kinky as well. Ah, Tiswas. Yep, I remember that. Wasn't there a girl, Sally? Someone had dark hair, and didn't they have was it the custard pie was their thing? Up, there we go. Monkey Boy has got the Great Soprendo's catchphrase, piff paff poof. Thinking back, his act is so wrong on so many levels, because wasn't he an Englishman impersonating a Spaniard, and a camp Spaniard at that, with the catchphrase, piff paff poof, brilliant. I saw something I completely agree with here. Christopher Biggins used to really annoy me, still does, yeah. And Razzie D also got and you see, this is the thing, this is where society has gone down the hill. It's gotten so bad that we have to blank out words that were used in children's TV. So bad. Ah, Sally James from Tiswas. Yep. Ironically, Woke Lord got it as well. No, Puff Bad Poif. No, almost. So Knights of Old says, social drinking is a tough habit ritual to change. Good on you for addressing it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I'm going to confess. So this is what 2021. 2019 was a particularly bad year for me, and towards the end, when my father passed away, I had to go back to Scotland, back to the old family home and everything. It was a really traumatic experience. And then that was in the August of 2019. So from August 2019 to Boxing Day of that year, I was drunk basically every day. The Christmas Day of that year, I drank the most I've ever drank in my entire life. And I was hungover for almost a week. And I said, that's it. This has got to stop. I didn't get drunk all of 2020. I did have a couple of beers on my birthday, and I remember having a few cans on Christmas Day, but I wasn't drunk. This year, 2021, I did pretty damn well until, when was it? Round about, Iconicon time, that was July. And on and off. And the past week, I got drunk 3 times. I'm like, nah, that's it. Knock this off, stop it. So today is the first of me trying this whole live stream sober, so I think it's gone all right, actually. So Shabby's saying, wasn't the great Soprendo married to Victoria Wood? Huh. Didn't know that. And Woke Lord's confirming that, so he was indeed married. I don't recall his real name, but if you, again, YouTube is your friend, just look up the great Soprendo, and it's just, he was like a really bad magician, but a really bad camp magician. And again, like I said, he's an Englishman pretending to be Spanish. So I don't know if that's what you call that, cultural appropriation or something. Possibly. Yeah. So we're at an hour and 40. So Razzie think he's called Jeffrey something. Yeah, you could be right. Actually, I'm going to cheat here and just check on that because it's bothering me. Great. So, great Soprendo. Jeffrey Durham. There we go. Wow. So now he's bald. I just remember this, a lot of dark hair and a big moustache, sort of a classic 80s moustache. So we'll try and go for another, 19 minutes, because I do have to feed these cats upstairs at 4. So any good questions, get them in while you can. And this is a nice point here. You're amongst many friends here. Well, thank you so much. And actually, I'm assuming there's not been any dickhead comments on this one. If there has, anyone with a spanner has done a fantastic job. I think, I'm not, obviously, not on the same level as retroblasting or analog toys, but the number of times you watch their streams and you get some arsehole coming on with just pathetic, ridiculous comments. I don't know what is wrong with these people, to be honest. I saw something here that rings a bell. Ali Bongo was an Englishman pretending to be an Asian magician. Oh, that does ring a bell, but I do not recall that at all. I need to just type this in so that after the stream I can look this up. Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo. Oh my God, yeah. He's even got the Fu Manchu moustache. And that was someone called William Oliver Wallace, known by his stage name Ali Bongo. Wow. Yeah, it was a different time back then. Hang on. Have you any interest in the new Mego figures? Yes and no. I actually still have a pretty large set, albeit in storage now, of the Playmates. I guess there were 8 or 9-inch figures. I'm going to give away the game here, but I did acquire a couple of Captain Kirk modern Megos, but that's probably all I'm going to have with those. Now, Jason says, what's your cat's name? Mine is called Fifi, and she is the queen of the house. Well, they're not my cats. It's the guy upstairs. He had to go away to the Poconos to help out. We're all connected. So, like, this is distant family's house. I rent the studio apartment. So he's a friend of the family, and he's moved in upstairs, but he's had to go to the Poconos to help them out. So I've been left to feed his cats. I've no idea what they're called, but they're actually quite friendly, believe it or not. Feeding them is not the problem. It's the cleaning out the shit box that's really quite disgusting. But anyway, oh yeah, this is a great comment. One of the funniest TV scenes was Emu attacking Des O'Connor. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I liked Rod Hull and Emu. Yeah, I think I did. I think I like the slapstick element. And this is a great comment here because being Scottish, do you remember Glenn Michael's cartoon Cavalcade? I absolutely do remember Glenn Michael's Cavalcade. Loved it with Paladin, the talking lamp. And there were a number of cartoons that I remember from that, one of which I think I discussed at one time called Wonder Wheels, which was this goofy guy on this claptrap beaten up motorcycle, but he would turn into Wonder Wheels with this like amazing white costume, I think, and this powerhouse bike, and a very enjoyable show that. Freddie Starr telling Muhammad Ali, yeah, yep. Oh yeah, there were some great moments on British TV. Who remembers George Best being drunk on Terry Wogan? That was another classic. Actually, there was an even better one in recent years. When I say recent years, it was when I was still there. So we're talking, circa 2000, 2001. There was a kids show on Saturday on ITV. I think it was called CD UK, and those two twats, Ant and Dec, were the hosts. And there was one girl, Cat, is it Cat Deely? Not sure, but anyway, for whatever reason, they chose to have Slash as a guest on live British kids TV on Saturday morning, and he had not been to bed. He was still wasted, and they had him on, and the girl says to the audience of kids, "Hey, do you kids have any questions for Slash?" And one kid asked the question, "What's the most outrageous rumor you've ever heard about yourself?" And he says, I don't know, probably like getting a blowjob in a bar. And then the host's face went white, and she said, "Any more questions, kids?" And one kid says, "Yeah, I've heard that you have a collection of lizards at your home. Have they ever tried to bite you?" And Slash, cool as a cucumber, says, "Yeah, I've got this giant iguana, and he tried to escape, so I grabbed him, and he turned around and bit the fuck out of me." So, of course, the camera cuts to Ant and Dec, very solemn-faced, saying, "We apologize for any language used in that last segment." Classic. Why they had Slash live on kids TV, but there you go. And Biker confirmed it was indeed Cat Deely. And again, Biker says Oliver Reed on the word yep. And what's this? Is the Ted Lasso show popular there? My wife and I are loving it. I don't know what that is. Mark saying Rod Hull died penniless in 85. Wow. Also, Scott Cummings also saw the Slash interview, because I was beginning to think that I'd imagined it because I was searching and searching, could never find any mention of it. But then I did, in fact, find a very bad copy on YouTube. So it is there. Anthony has said, "Oh, I'm glad you're back doing live streams and you don't need the extra stuff. Could be awesome." Well, thank you, Anthony. Jim Largo has come in with a super chat. Thank you, Jim. I've been enjoying rewatching Red Dwarf this week. Do you remember Basil Brush? I remember watching that as a kid in Scotland in the 70s. Oh, yeah. Boom Boom was his catchphrase. Yeah, I loved Basil Brush. That was always broadcast on a Saturday evening, if I remember. Possibly after Doctor Who or before. But yeah, Oliver Reed was always drunk on everything. Yeah. And that's exactly what I don't want to become. So yeah. Grot Bags, that was the green-faced witch. Am I right? Sly Stone had many intoxicated interviews. Some are a little sad. Oh, I didn't know that. I maybe need to look those up. And again, confirmation that Basil Brush did say boom boom. Oh, so Knights of Old is saying that, is it Ted Lasso is a new comedy TV show? So what what country is that being broadcast in? See, I think I cause a lot of confusion because people hear me and assume that I'm in the UK, but no, I'm here in America. And George has confirmed that Basil Brush was before Doctor Who on Saturday. Like, isn't it incredible that we can remember these tiny little details? It's quite incredible. Rainbow and Button Moon were always my favorite when I was off school sick. Yeah, actually, I remember being off school sick, and my mum would watch the most boring costume drama that was broadcast during the day. That was like a Victorian version of Coronation Street or something. It was it day? I forget, but yeah. But I also remember you would see sometimes when you're off sick, you would see one of the educational shows before the rest of the class got to watch it on VHS tape. So there we go. Anthony's asking, did you pick up a Newcastle Grayskull? No, and I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to stick with the figures. Space for displaying things is presently an issue, big time, but when I eventually get my toy room, I'm not sure I'm going to have space for something that size. And I'm also not sure about the vehicles. I obviously have the Sky Sled because I wanted the Prince Adam figure, but I've not made any attempt to get the other vehicles, so I'm kind of holding off on that. Okay, Mark is saying Ted Lasso is fantastic, a really fun. Oh, but is it American or British? I don't know. Was Roy Castle the first host of the Basil Brush show? And yes, Grutbag was the Green Witch from Emu. Roy Castle, no, because the Basil Brush, probably 70s, I think. In fact, I can almost picture the guy with sort of reddish hair and big sideburns. I always hated the Moomins. Don't recall that one. Metal Mickey, that was ITV, I think. I enjoyed that. In fact, I think I still have a Metal Mickey annual. Another video I'm going to do is showcasing all my childhood survivals, because I have quite a lot of annuals I managed to hold on to, actually. The Sullivans, that might be the costume drama I'm thinking of. It was a terrible show, well, for a kid, certainly. Whoa, is this true? Rod Hull died in 1999. He fell off his roof while adjusting his TV aerial. Oh boy, that's a bit sad. So this, here we go. I thought you were in the UK, and no, it's not embarrassing. It's a frequent, people get confused, and I understand why. Ted Lasso is on Apple TV. I'm in New York City, Brooklyn. Sadly, it sucks. I remember all those BBC and ITV education shows broadcast in the mornings during the week. Yep, I did a video on The Boy from Space, which, by all accounts, from reading the comments, traumatized everyone of this generation. It was frightening, terrible thing to show young kids. There's somebody at the door. I just got mixed up with Larry Grayson for a second. His was shut, that door, wasn't it? There's somebody at the door. Wasn't Jim Davidson? Yeah. What was Jim Davidson's character that used to, or Chalky? Yeah, that was always quite funny. Basil Brush sounds like a new type of Brazilian wax. The Sullivans was Australian, and it was World War II. Maybe I'm getting confused. The Sullivan rings a bell, though. Any Wurzel Gummidge memorabilia? No, I really didn't like Wurzel Gummidge, although in I have a few look-in magazines. They have a few Wurzel Gummidge comic strips. And Dark Towers, was that part of the Look and Learn series of educational shows? Because Boy from Space was part of that. There was one about Peregrine Falcons as well that was part of that. And Jason's confirmed that is true about Rod Hull. That's pretty sad. What 80s toy line needs an update? Mask. There we go. The Boy from Space was so weird. Yep, it was a very, very strange show. But it was the actor that played the thin spaceman that terrified all the kids. Yeah, Larry Grayson, shut that door. What a gay day. Yep. What the hell is this? I also grew up watching the Finnish and Swedish dubs of Moomins. I don't recall Moomins. The Tomorrow People. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, Action Force needs to be re-released, not in the oh god, I just hit a blank here. Not in the Bobby Vala Action Force. We mean the Palatoy Action Force. That would be great to have those again. Did you collect any 60s to 80s Japanese toys? That's my last thing in life. No, not no. Wurzel Gummidge used to freak me out, especially when the characters were standing still like waxworks and then suddenly came to life. Yeah, that was another ITV show, I believe. I don't know, it just did not enjoy it for some reason. Daniel agrees that Mask needs an update. And Monkey Boy says, if Mask is reissued, I'm buying all of it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But George, I think, is suggesting that you want 6-inch Action Force of what we remember as kids. Yeah. I'd love to see updated Red Shadows figures, both in 3 3/4 or 6-inch. Yeah, see, for me, I was only around Action Force when they were 5 points of articulation, so anything after that is of no interest to me. So if I do ever collect Action Force, I know that I have a set amount of figures I would need to collect. I don't know, I don't care for those figures with multiple points, plus those rubber bands are not much good. Oh, so no, George just wants the 3 3/4-inch Palatoy. Good. So this again, this Skeletron has come up, and they might be doing the Red Shadow stuff. That's pretty cool. You can only hope they do a Robo Skull. And then we have one here. Love to see Thunderbirds 2086 released as toys. Yeah. Mask was probably the best toy of its generation. Yeah, because it combined the best of both worlds. You had the action figure element, you had the Transformer element, all in one. Plus, the smaller scale meant we could get good vehicles, plus a massive playset. Excuse me. So Jason also was very much the old simple Action Force figures. And this is a good point. It's crazy now to think that a puppet like Basil Brush could be such a prime time show. Yep, he had one of the best slots on weekend television. Red Shadows are getting a bit pricey. You want to build an army, but yeah. Do you collect modern toys? I have a really hard time buying anything but vintage. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Obviously, Masters of the Universe Origins, but those are really just a throwback. I don't really do Black Series, Vintage Collection, G.I. Joe. What's the stuff I keep seeing? The Marvel stuff. I don't know. not my thing. I'm very much vintage, and I'm quite proud of that. Did I watch Space 1999? Yes, I did. And yeah, Roland Rat was also very popular. He was indeed. Picked up my first Stan Solo figures last week, Blue Snag and Vintage Jawa. Oh, fantastic. You cannot go wrong. And George has a red Shadow Army. Nice. And Roland Rat was crazy popular back in the... Yeah, he really was. But Biker just has a squad of red shadows. All right, 2 hours. Wow. That has completely flown by, and I think it's been quite successful. And the best part was I didn't have to leave once to go take a leak. So that is quite something for me. I'm very proud of that fact. I didn't even see this. This is a thing, right? I've gone 2 hours. I didn't even finish this. What is it, 16 ounce? Yeah. Oh, 16.9. 17 ounce Diet Pepsi. I didn't finish. Meanwhile, I could quaff down, how many ounces would that have been? Like, 25, 50, 100. Like, oh my God. Oh, here we go. All right, Tony, and thank you so much. Good morning, and good morning to you. My God, it's 4 in the morning there. What are you doing up? Crazy. As Adam was just saying there, I've managed to get through a live stream completely sober. Didn't even finish a bottle of Diet Pepsi, whereas last Friday I got through the equivalent of 14 cans of beer in that 2 hour session. So this is far better. No embarrassments, no disappearing. I'm actually quite proud of myself. So there you go. That's something. I just want to catch up before I say my goodbyes. Let's see. So I guess this is, they sold out of the vintage Handstorm. I hope they get more backs. Yeah, again, one of these figures that Ken or Shoot have given us. I had a great 2 hours with you, Dean. Well, thank you, Jason. I very much do appreciate that. We've got a lot of people saying hi to Tony, which is great. And Monkey Boy says, well done. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Woke Lord, awesome stream. Well, thank you. And Jonathan is also saying, a really fun stream, Dean. Well, you see, I'm quite relieved that I can still provide you with fun without you actually laughing at me. This time you're actually laughing with me, I hope. And Bjorn, very enjoyable stream, Dean. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Bjorn says, always love your streams. Well, it's indeed, that's very kind of you. And Justin also had a Diet Pepsi as well. So that's it. Okay. No more comments, please. I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm going to have to call this a day right now. So that's been highly enjoyable, highly successful. And this is the way to go forward. And he's got one slipped in. Enjoyable stream. Thank you. Well, thank you, Kickback. And Biker is just saying, glad to see you stream tonight, Dean. Hope you are keeping well, mate. Yes, I am. Thank you so much. And good night, George. Good night to everyone. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. I wasn't able to sort of be my normal goofy, outrageous self. I kept the language in check. I didn't disappear to the bathroom, and I wasn't slurring my words. So wow, success all round. So how do I end this? I just say thank you all for watching. Thank you all for those amazing super chats. That's so kind of you. And today is what, Wednesday, so new video will be out on Friday morning. So thank you all, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s. Good night.